Okay, a little bit of a spin on the normal thing. England have announced their 26-man variant on the squad. Me and Ped are obviously absolutely buzzing for it, as you'd expect. But we'll talk about it nevertheless. The big question, I guess, we've seen it now, 26 names on there, it will go down to 22. We're going to be discussing who those three are going to miss out on another video. Watch that. For now, I want to look at, and I want to look around the Premier League and world football. And are there any glaring omissions from that list we think should have been in the squad that haven't been named even at all by the manager?
Yeah.
Excellent, thanks, Ted. Spectacular work.
Phil Jagielka should be in that squad.
Why?
Because he's definitely one of the 4 best centre-backs, English centre-backs, easily. He
amazed
hasn't had a
he's
great
not
season,
He's
but
had an awful season.
put that down to the manager, not the player. The player's been good. The player recently in the semi-final against Manchester United, I thought he was absolutely amazing.
I just want everyone to take note of this, just for 1 second, that Robbie said that Phil Jagielka is fine not to be in there because he's had an awful season. We'll put a pin in that, and we'll come back to that at some point on the show tonight. Yeah, I agree. We were just talking about it then. I hadn't even noticed, because it's actually hard to try and remember names that aren't there when you're reading other people's names. But Baines as well, not being.
Not too fussed about Baines. He's been injured on and off for the best part of a year. I don't think he's played for England for a year either, and he's never really shown his best form for England either. He gets left out to dry a lot of the time. But I'm surprised with Jagielka. He was only captain about 4 or 5 games ago for England,
yeah.
and you look at the centre backs in there. John Stones hasn't had a great season. The other 2 have been. Carroll, I think, is crap.
Of the 2, just from an Everton perspective, would you have Jagielka over Stones?
It depends how he wants to play. I think Stones
If he's looking to have someone try and play it out from the back and give the ball away?
Yeah, I'd have Stones. Definitely.
Absolutely.
No, I think Stones needs someone next to him who's experienced and a bit of a commanding figure. And I think Cale's garbage. I still don't even understand how he plays for England. Smalling has been in and out this season. You look at those 3, you a bit nervy.
He's a bit of a worry.
Jagielka, at least you know what you're getting. He's a centre back who can defend. The other 3.
Listen. If he'd had a good season, it's a bit like Theo Walker.
But I don't think he's had a bad season. I think he's been injured a lot of the time, and he's been let down by the tactics. Don't forget, at Everton, he's a right-sided centre-back, and he has to play left-sided to accommodate Stones when he plays as well. That's not good for his game. And also, the way Martinez wanted him to play, it doesn't suit. He's a proper centre-back in the purest form. Listen, he wouldn't be like, I wouldn't say he's the England centre-back who's going to start every game or should be captain. But you think for just that little bit of experience, a little bit of a tournament experience, having a wise head around the camp, you'd think he'd be the one. Because there aren't that many young young defenders.
And a back goalkeeper if needs be as well.
Tremendous goalkeeper. You could have took him and just took 2 goalkeepers.
There you go. You mentioned him there, Rob. Theo Walcott?
Yeah, Theo Walcott doesn't deserve to be in the squad either.
Doesn't?
Because he's had a very poor. He actually started off the season pretty well, and then he's been rubbish, right? So if he would have got selected in the squad, I would think he wouldn't have deserved to have got in there. I think the same with Jagielka. I think Stones is lucky in that, number one, we haven't got many centre backs around, but also I think with Stones, he's looking at the future. And that's why I think he got in ahead of Jagielka, because he's probably looking at it and saying, well, you know what, this guy is going to be the future.
He loves Stones, though. If he can get him into that first team, he will get him into that first team.
He's got the potential, hasn't he, to be
Listen, Roy Hodgson is
very good,
genuinely dreadful manager. But if there's one thing he knows how to do, it's actually organise a defence. And it's not often I would say these words in this order, but he could actually be a positive influence on the career of a John Stones, because just teaching someone how to do the fundamentals of defending, it's something Roy Hodgson actually
John Stones is a good defender. It's getting the balance between the 2. When he first joined Everton, we were more talking about him as a good centre back who could play football. Now we're talking about a good player who can defend now and again. Yeah. And it's been lost this year because of the whole Martinez thing. And I think a good manager will get that back on track, no problem.
What do you reckon, Flav? Anyone from Spurs that's been overlooked?
No, we've got 4 or 5 in there anyway, so it's okay. I think Defoe, I think he deserves a shout. He's kind of, he scored 15 goals. Did he score actually last?
He scored 15 goals in the league.
15, this season. And Rashford's very young. We've made this mistake by taking Walcott too early, taking Oxlade-Chamberlain too early, taking Rashford potentially too early. So I think Defoe deserved the kind of swan song tournament. We've seen it before with other players who've been brought in the twilight of their career and done well at international tournaments. And I think Defoe offered something off the bench, a lot of experience and firepower. And
the thing for me on the Defoe stuff is Defoe is...
I do too.
You can't argue with it in terms of like goal return. Look, he's right up there on his form this season.
Yeah.
He's worth a consideration, surely. My issue, and what I'm going to name, and I can't believe I'm naming him, but Andy Carroll. Now, again, what Andy Carroll does is promise much, get injured all season, come back for the last 10 games, look amazing, and then work himself into contention, and then end up at a festival all summer instead. But but you know what he brings. No one else in the options, because look at the options we've got there. You've got Jamie Vardy, who's your guy in behind, maybe stretch the defence if you want to bring him on for the last half an hour, whatever. Rooney, who I don't really know what Wayne Rooney does, to be perfectly honest. You've got Daniel Sturridge, who's your thoroughbred, and you've got Kane, who's also just you're all round there. But if you were to bring like a Defoe into that, I don't know what he would bring as an Edgar option. Andy Carroll, there's a lot to be said, and everyone's got these highfalutin models that they want England to be. They want us to be this amazing football team. I can't believe I just said us. But there's something to be said for being very, very English and just smashing the ball down the pitch, lumping balls into the box when you're under pressure, and letting the big fella get his head on it. Like.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. I'm sorry, but I saw it happen the last time when he went to an international tournament. Put a cross into the box. Andy Carroll rose like a ponytail salmon out of water and banged it in.
I agree with Pedro on this.
The international refs just love to pull them up for everything.
Yeah.
They always do. They always have. Crouch was pretty much the same, and Crouch is not even a dirty player.
Crouch has got had a better than 1 in 2 goal scoring record.
No, he did, but he did it against.
But when he goes to tournaments like Ped says,
I'm not saying poor players.
Those referees are a lot
the
stricter.
We all remember him pulling the guy's deadlock to get up and score. Like, it cost
Against Jamaica. I was a bit upset about that. I was there with my dad. He was supporting Jamaica.
I think the refs would be. I also don't think anyone will go to the tournament who hasn't got at least 5 or 6 caps. So I think he's not going to take anyone who hasn't already played. He's already pretty much said that.
Do you know what, right? On the Rashford thing, I like Rashford.
Yeah, I do.
And I think Rashford also would be a player that a lot of the teams around Europe will not know him.
Yeah.
He's hungry to score goals. He's really, really quick. And I wouldn't mind seeing him there. Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing Rashford there. I've been really, really impressed with him.
We'll talk a little bit more about Rashford. We're going to come on to do the 3 players we're going to miss out, the omissions, or the players we're going to not make the final cut in a moment. But case to be made, the West Ham fans have been banging the Mark Noble drum. If you're looking at players who are going in on form again, I think he's probably had his
But they've had their greatest season ever. What did he finish? 8th?
7th.
Greatest season ever.
6th, 7th. Yeah. And then we won't know because the final game's not.
Because it did. Because it's West Ham, isn't it?
Yeah. I think he's been
Guy
good, but
hates West Ham
he's had
for
a very
some
good. He's had a very good season. Again,
mocking the season, but when I did it earlier. But anyway.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. They're saying they've had their greatest season ever, and he finished 7th. And Mark Noble's just a poor man's Leon Osman, anyway.
I think I would put Noble in ahead of a couple of those players in midfield. I think he has a fair shout at being, a little bit disgruntled.
Do you think he's better than Drinkwater?
Probably not on the form this year. Although before the season started, I would have said and undoubtedly. Creswell as well, I think should have had a shout.
But they haven't played, have they? That's the point. They haven't played, and he's not going to take anyone.
They're essentially being taken to not play because Noble is never going to start for England.
Yeah. I can't believe you're going to go against Roy Hodgson because you've got one of his official jumpers on there. So
that's 2 videos now, isn't it? That's 2 videos down. Okay.
Technically, like 4 or 6.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's just move on. I've made my points now.
No, I'm interested to know if there's any we've missed there. I think we've covered most of the ones that were mentioned on Twitter. Or have you? Speaking of which, we did have a few tweets which I will get to because I completely forgot we were going to do this. So what I'm going to do is talk for a few moments. Okay. And whilst doing that, creating the illusion that you're really watching some proper content, whereas really what you're doing is watching
you look for stuff on your phone.
Yeah. Well, I try and find the tweets in question, which is I think you're all going to be happy to know. I'm actually right here. So Sean Alexander, I'm ready to, says surely Mark Noble does a similar job and deserves a shout. Swan _ 1878, can't imagine who he supports. Yeah, it's all right. In fact, you know what? You'll be fine.
I think the secret to doing videos is research. I always find good preparation is also good.
Preparation's key.
Preparation.
Have you ever actually done that yourself?
No, because I'm just that good. I'm just that good. I don't even have a sheet. I just walk in and just do the thing.
That's why you got 2 channels.
That's why he's got 2 channels. All the best people have 2 channels. Flav's got no channels.
No. I don't even know why you're here.
This is your channel.
I don't even know why you're here.
This is
your channel.
What, the Redmen?
No, this is.
Wall Street.
Listen, I could skirt around the issue. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. The tweets are for the next video, so we will read your tweets out. If you want to see if your tweets made it, check out which 3 players we think should not make it into the final 23, which will also be up on the channel right now.
There's the trailer.
There you go. Subscribe, like, comment.